if your dog was able to understand you and every word that you say for the next moment, have you ever thought of what you might say to her?
I had this exact thing on a post, and I said, this is in 2017, I love you. Thank you for coming into my world and making everything better, and for making me laugh every day. If I get things wrong, I'm sorry. I'm still figuring it out too. You are beautiful and are my best friend. You have the sweetest soul. I'm so proud when you learn new things. Fireworks can't hurt you. Please don't try to kill the vet. He's only trying to help. Walkies are my favourite thing too. Your tail is magnificent. Please don't feel the need to protect me. I will always have your back. You don't need to be jealous when I pet other dogs. You will always be my number one doggo. If I could, I would give you all the treaties in the world, but they would make you ill and unhealthy. The cat does really love you, but would be more receptive if you didn't get in her face. I love you.
And if we were going to reverse that position and Molly was able to talk to you in the English language for a moment,
she would just ask me for snacks. Like, I 100%, she would just ask me for food.
She would just treat you like a waitress. Right, cheese, treats, like a really demanding restaurant customer.
She's 11 now. She's reached the age of just not giving a She's got no to give. And she has started literally picking up and flinging her Kong at me.
Last time I was here looking after her, I couldn't find the Kong. And then she threw it at my head.
Literally just chuck it at you.
I was recording demos and I was sat on your bedroom floor with like my back on the bed. And all of a sudden something just went... and then...
She's such an...
And the peanut butter went everywhere as well. Yeah. And I had to clean it up as well because it was like dried peanut butter. So it really got stuck into the carpet. I just spent quite a long time fishing it out. But just the image of it, like a grenade, was really funny.
She gets so frustrated because she'll sit in front of like the treat cupboard or the biscuit box and she'll just woof at you. And she gets so annoyed that you're not... It's like in her head, she thinks we're really stupid and we're not understanding what she's saying.
Oh, right. It's like, if you open the cupboard, I can have my treat.
She's like, come on, I'm showing you the cupboard. I'm sat in front of it. I'm pointing at it. I'm barking it. Well, what is wrong with you? And then we're like, no. I totally understand what you're saying. It's just that I'm not going to give you another treat.
I wonder when she talks to other dogs if that's the main thing she gossips about. Yeah. I had her in front of the treat box for 15 minutes and she didn't know what to do.
These humans are so stupid. I don't know if it's the sound or the smell, she can be at the other end of the house and if you get a snack out of the fridge, she will materialise. It's like Harry Potter, she just apparates next to you.
If I open like anything in your house...
She hears it or she smells it, she just knows.
And one time I was working on something, I was getting a bit into it, and I thought she was with the dog walker, but I'd forgotten that she'd already come back.
Yes.
And so I thought, all right, well, I'll eat now and then she won't like bother me. And so,
I do the same.
So then I was eating and she appeared next to me and I really got freaked out. Like, no, you're not even in the house and you smelled that. You're on like a hill somewhere.
She's like a great white shark that just like detects cheese from a mile away.
And she honed in like a radar.
I always thought, do they ponder, like, they keep bringing the ball back? Do they keep pondering why we're so dumb and keep throwing this ball away? They're just trying to return it to us.
I remember being really disappointed that I could never get her to fetch anything from me.
She just stares at you.
She looks at me like I'm insane.
She just judges.
She looks at me like dogs have never done that before.
The only way, she's got so many quirks, the only way she will chase after a ball and fetch it is if you go to the beach and you throw it. But there's a sweet spot because you throw it too deep in the water, she just gives up. Like it's too much hard work. But if you throw it on the sand, it's not interesting enough. You have to throw it in the very shallow water, so she has to paddle, but not swim to get it.
I would say that there are traits of your dog that I would love to inherit. And one of them is that she has the most amazing fuck you face I've ever seen. Like she really just looks at me and
gives it to me regularly.
And I remember once I was here and there was back fences had blown down because there was a major storm.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, what do I do to take her out for a wee? And you said, well, you have to like take her on the lead, I'm afraid. Yeah. And so I did. And she sat under your trampoline in the pouring rain for now maybe 30 to 40 minutes. And I didn't have a coat on.
So stubborn.
And she refused to move. And I'm just getting drenched at this point. And then I thought, well, maybe I could get under the trampoline as well. But I was too big. Like I couldn't do it. And I couldn't move her in any direction. Yeah. And I couldn't go to get a treat because they were indoors and I couldn't let her off the lead.
Yeah.
And so it was really stressful. But the way she looked at me was like, yeah, what's your problem?
the other day, I got caught by my neighbour in my dressing gown at like 11 o'clock at night, scuttling through his garden with the dog in my hands. And she's a big dog. She's not like a scooper up under your arm. She's a big dog. So I was staggering back to the house with the dog at like 11 o'clock. And he just saw me. He didn't even question it. She's just broken into their garden and, and was having a snoop.
Because you and I are like the same height.
Yeah.
And I remember once I was here and I was putting the bins out and it was late. And I put one of your coats on because it was in the...
Yeah.
I was on the handstand in the hall. And so I put it on and one of your neighbours just started talking to me as if I was you. And because it was dark. And I just thought like...
And you got long hair as well.
Yeah, because at the time it was when you had dark hair.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not really going to explain to them who I am or what's going on. So I just kind of like waved and whatever. And just let it...
You just impersonated me.
Let it roll out on its own. I didn't have a dog growing up. I don't know if you had.
Did you always want one?
Really, really wanted one. Did you have a dog growing up?
Desperately wanted one. No, I had a cat. He was lovely. I used to like sneak it into my Christmas list between things. It would be like doll's house, teddy, dog.
Do you remember the first real dog you interacted with, like regularly?
I do actually. Yeah, it was a rough collie, so like a lassie.
It wasn't smoking dog. By the bins.
No. No, a neighbour's dog from a few doors down. Yeah, we used to take her for walks. She was really sweet. She was a proper lassie dog and like really well behaved. And what about you?
None of my family had dogs. I didn't have a dog. None of the extended family had a dog. My grandmother had a friend, and I don't know how she met her because she used to stay overnight, which if she was local, she wouldn't do. So I don't really know how she knew her. But she was blind. And so she had a guide dog.
They're amazing.
But because my grandmother had been a nurse, she was really hygiene and she put newspaper down so the dog's fur wouldn't get everywhere on the carpet and stuff. And I remember thinking that
feels like a futile endeavour.
Yeah, because it went everywhere, obviously.
Yeah.
But I remember, when you're a kid, you're always sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
And Labradors are quite big.
Yeah.
And I remember, because the dog was so clever, because I remember thinking... it was clocking on and off a shift. Like it knew, right, my owner's in a room.
When it was like a working dog and when it was like just a dog.
Yeah, like it's not, my owner's not moving. We're indoors. We're safe. The people seem nice. I can play.
I can have some switches.
I remember I was lying on the floor and the dog was like walking on me to like play. And I remember looking up and these big black Labrador paws walking on me. And it was really exciting. But the thing I couldn't get over was the spontaneity of the dog.
Yeah.
It was really, really magical. So that's the first dog I can properly remember.
One of my favourite ever stories I heard, this was on like the radio news, national radio news, was, I can't remember which airport it was, but the dogs at this particular UK airport were having a higher success rate of sniffing out sausages than drugs.
So my real relationship with dogs was through TV, and it was on Blue Peter. Because they always had dogs.
Oh, they did, didn't they? Yeah.
You also had Rags the pony who trod on someone's foot. You had an elephant who wheeled once.
Pooed everywhere. Yeah, I remember that one. That was like an iconic British TV moment.
So there's another one where there were girl guides and they were singing around a bonfire and the bonfire set light to the studio. It's really
not funny.
It really is. It's amazing. In 1986, they had a cat called Willow, and it was the only pet to ever be fired by Blue Peter because it would not shut up.
Oh, just really vocal.
And so they tried to record a piece to come about how to make a pencil case out of cardboard or whatever.
I just like squawked the whole time.
So imagine, so do like a bit of it as if you're a Blue Peter presenter. I'm going to recreate the noise exactly that Willow made.
Okay, and next up.
The noise, and it was a tiny little cat. There was Mabel, who was a real show business dog, because I've seen outtakes and the dog is just lounging around and snoring. And then the on-air light goes on and she's like, woof, and she's eyes and teeth and she does it. One thing that's quite interesting is most presidents of America have to get a dog.
Do they have to? Does Trump have a dog?
He's the only president in, I think, about the last 80 years who hasn't had a dog.
Well, that just says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you don't like dogs, what's wrong with you?
If you're not a dog person, yes.
The idea is you would present a very stable family unit. So you would have a wife, you would have 2 children, you would have a dog, and you're like the ideal American family.
Yeah.
So it was thought... Your an actor and you work in movies, I've been reading about the role that dogs played in rescuing Hollywood. Originally, outdoor movie sets would regularly have stray dogs.
Yeah.
Because there were so many dogs in America at that point that were stray.
Yeah.
It really just wasn't thought about. There was no training for actors moving from theatre into film. And a lot of it's, there were geniuses of the silent era, but the early days, a lot of it's horribly bad because the actors didn't know what they were doing with cameras.
It's a different style, isn't it?
But they realised that dogs played a role in teaching actors how to act on film, because if a dog really came into shot when you weren't expecting it, they stopped acting in like a large way and really interacted with the dog.
Yeah.
And the naturalism looked amazing
behaviour
on camera.
Yeah. I remember in Uta Hagen's book, Respect for Acting, and she gives the example of if a cat walked on stage and doesn't need to do anything, like just literally just as a cat, everyone would stop and watch it because that natural, completely authentic behaviour is just really compelling.
It's so true, because a cat wouldn't be making a song and dance of walking on stage.
No one would be trying to do anything. It would just be being.
In the early days of Hollywood, it was all about dogs. There was Rin Tin Tin and Lassie, but there were loads of them.
Lassie, oh my God, I used to love Lassie.
Rin Tin Tin was voted the first Best Actor at the first Oscars ceremony.
Really?
But it got discounted because people thought, oh, that's a bit like
This
having
was
a dog.
like the year before last. This dog called Messi from a movie called Anatomy of a Fall. I've got to say, the dog is amazing. I think it's an Aussie Shepherd or I don't know, something like that. Or it's a collie. It has to have ingested pills and it starts panting and its eyes glaze over. It looks like it's dying. And I was sure they'd done it, CG. If for real, they trained this dog to look like it was dying. It was phenomenal. Like kind of drooling and panting and lying on its side with its eyes. I don't know how they did it.
Actors got the hump. And unfortunately, it was actors then.
Because they were having their thunder stolen.
Well, it really, really was. And it's so great that you said the word thunder because all of the dogs in films had really exciting names. So in the early days of silent films, you had Ace the Wonder Dog, Dynamite the Dog, Destiny the Dog, Strongheart. In 1929, the Wall Street crash hit.
Yeah.
And so many studios went out of business. And the ones that didn't went for dog stars because actors weren't ready for talkies. Their voices weren't right. A dog can never bark wrong. It can never make the wrong noise. It always sounds like a dog. They're relatively easy to train. Also, you don't have to pay them very much. You pay them dog food.
Yeah, that's true.
And so rather than...
cheap labour.
It really was, because rather than taking the time to... It's not even just paying stars a big amount.
Yeah.
It's having stars that are compelling on camera, but also human stars that people know take a long time to establish in people's minds.
Yeah.
And a dog, no one cares. Oh, it's a dog. It looks cute. I'll go.
But dogs have become really iconic. It's like Benji, Lassie, Homeward Bound. Like,
Beethoven.
Beethoven. Oh my God, I loved Beethoven.
Got to be so big that they were running out of epic names for dogs.
Okay.
Ordinary names started to creep in, like Jean.
I love a dog with a really human name. I just love it. Like our local vicar's dog's called Dave. I just think it's so good.
Jean was a border collie and she was a really big star.
Smart.
And when she gave, this was at the earliest, about 1913, but when she gave birth, they made a documentary film called Jean and Her Family.
Oh.
And it was released to cinemas.
That's lovely.
All over the world. But she also did a film, Jean the Matchmaker. And all this was Jean going round a park and there would be like a man and a woman sat on a bench.
Yeah.
And then Jean would just like nudge their arms together or they'd like touch hands on the bench and then Jean would scuttle off.
Oh.
And that's the entire film.
Lovely.
Yeah, she was really, really fun. But there was also Luke the dog, who was a pit bull terrier, Pal the rough collie, Pete the pup. He was from a series of shorts called The Little Rascal Short. And there was Skippy the wire fox terrier, Teddy the Great Dane. Like there was really a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
But the reason it came to a halt was the actors didn't like it. And the reason the actors didn't like having such big dog stars was because the journalists were really mean. And so if you read any review of a silent film, then the review is always along the lines of, oh, the only actor that was remotely adept at their role was a spaniel called Hungry Joe. And actors got really upset about it. But dogs really came into their own when talkies arrived because a dog cannot make the wrong noise.
They can't act badly.
Yeah. And by 1932, cinemas were really doing badly. 8,000 of 23,000 cinemas in America had closed. So it was
sad.
really going down. And the money and expense of developing stars and humans, like it cost a fortune.
Yeah, just probably nobody had any money to go and watch the movies, did they?
I was reading this. Most of the studios went out of business for financial reasons because they couldn't afford to relocate. Because they'd all built studios on flight paths and next to motorways and noisy places. Because it never even occurred to them that sound would be in film. And so they literally had to close because they couldn't afford to move.
Yeah.
And they hadn't thought, how could you ever plan for that? Like, silent films had been around for so long before talkies came in.
Yeah.
You would never ever think of that, which was really interesting. Right now, there are an estimated 900 million dogs on Earth.
You can never have too many dogs.
I agree with you.
To that.